Math and English gets me a lot. It's really confusing, but everything else is pretty easy. I like going to school.
That's 12-year-old Josh Ackley, who lives in Coshocton, Ohio. It's a town that has all the things Josh likes, which is basically hunting, fishing, and his family. Josh is in the 6th grade, and although he says he likes school, sometimes his behavior says otherwise.
I'm not really a leader. I'm sort of a follower, but not really of the right group. They'll make noises, but I'm pretty much just associated with them, and they'll start making noises, and I'll laugh at it because they sound pretty funny, and then they'll be like, start goofing off more and making faces and trying to get other people to laugh at them.
He's a clown. He would rather make his friends laugh.
That's Josh's mom, Rochelle Ackley.
He doesn't buckle down. He's so smart. He's so smart. And a lot of times it breaks my heart because I know he can do so much better. He just doesn't apply himself.
Schools are full of kids like Josh, smart but not applying themselves. Now a handful of school districts, including New York, Baltimore, and Dallas, are trying a new way to motivate Josh and kids like him. These districts pay students to learn. Today on the Learning Matters podcast, the story of Josh Ackley, a kid who, according to all the adults around him, isn't applying himself. Could money be the answer? Josh's school district was among the first to experiment with cash prizes. Starting in 2004, 3rd through 6th graders who passed the state test could earn up to $100. Each year, the district held a lottery drawing and picked one class per grade to participate in the cash program. Josh's class has been luckier than most.
I was pretty excited that we got it 3 times in a row. Chances was 1 in 600 or something like that.
Do you remember, did you celebrate?
Oh yeah.
Last September, Josh's class was picked for the 4th year in a row. But Josh would have a long way to go before he could collect any prize. His teacher is Tony Miser.
They find out they're being paid for that one test, and that test isn't until April. So it's not a right now incentive that he's going to get.
Would Josh's excitement about the money carry over until April and the day of the test? When we visited in March, his class was taking a practice exam.
You had to read the little passage that was there, and then there was like, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 questions. They were very simple questions.
You got through that fast.
Yeah, all the answers were in the story. All you had to do was look back.
Josh finished the test in 15 minutes. Everyone else was still working, so Josh began to fidget and distract the others. Tony Miser had to quiet him down.
Josh is an interesting kid. He is very knowledgeable, street smart. Also, academically, he knows what needs to be done. It's just getting him to do it is sometimes a challenge.
Josh has a few close friends in school. Everywhere they went, 12-year-old kinds of trouble seemed to follow.
I followed with the wrong group. I made a bad decision when I was little, and I made good friends with the person, and he started being really bad, and I started following.
What does he get reprimanded for here in school?
Here in school, it's a lot of disrespect.
Josh's teacher, Tony Miser.
Talking back, thinking that he runs the place, always questioning what the teacher does, is if we're going to do an assignment, why are we going to do this? This is stupid.
Money was supposed to make Josh want to do better, but the prize, coming at the end of the year, appears too far off to motivate him day in, day out. And Josh has also learned he may not have to change his behavior after all.
Is it hard to win the money on the test?
No, not at all. It's very easy.
You've been doing this for 3 years with the cash prize, right?
4. You get used to it after the first couple times.
Maybe you need a raise. Does it seem kind of strange to give kids a prize on a test that's so easy?
I don't know, it makes me feel like I took advantage of somebody.
He can slack all year.
Josh's mom, Rochelle.
He cannot do his homework and not turn it in, and he knows that he's still going to collect on that.
Could it be teaching Josh that I can get by and get a prize for not really having to work that hard?
And that's where we have the problems with the incentive program. It doesn't make him work any harder throughout the year. I don't think it makes him feel any better about himself either. You know, I mean, yeah, of course he's happy, but it's only because he has some money to spend somewhere, you know?
Money isn't making Josh a better student, but his teacher thinks other things might.
We have invited him onto a fishing trip out to a family pond that's stocked, and if he behaves and stays on task and turns everything in on time, then he will be rewarded with a nice fishing trip where he'll be guaranteed to catch a lot of fish.
Well, my teachers made a deal with us that since we've been pretty bad this year, they made a deal with us and they wrote out the word farm pond, and every letter counts as a chance to be bad. And every time you're bad, you lose a letter. But by May 14th, if you have at least one letter, just the D left, then you get to go on a farm pond trip.
How do you like that idea?
Oh, I'm gonna like it a lot.
The fishing prize has changed his behavior tremendously. He's not talking out as much. He's not disrespecting the staff or the students as much. He's beginning to understand this is what we want you to do all the time.
I really want that trip, and it just makes me act a lot better so I don't lose my letters.
Josh made it to the end of the school year and didn't lose all his letters, so he got his trip to the farm pond. There's some things in life money can buy, and for a 12-year-old boy in Ohio, there's fishing. To learn more about the Cash Incentive Program for students in Coshocton and hear more podcasts like this one, log on to www.pbs.org/Merrow. That's MERROW. This podcast was made possible by the generous support from the Eli and Edith L. Broad Foundation and the Annenberg, Gates, Hewlett and Wallace Foundation. Sully Chum produced this podcast. I'm John Tulenko. Thanks for listening.